Okay, legends, I am back with another video about our beloved series, Cobra Kai Season 6, bringing you something wild, trust me. Real quick, before we start, I want to acknowledge and shout out to all the amazing people who's commented, liked, and subscribed to my last two videos. You've inspired me to build out this channel, and I really appreciate you. Little gratitude goes a long way to start the day. Now, if you're new, please subscribe to my channel, like this video. In other words, love me. Now, for what you've been waiting for, aching for, stressing about, and potentially losing hair over, because I know that I have, the question, what is the connection between Mr.Myagi and Master Kim Sun-un? After rigorous due diligence, sleepless nights, and crying on my wife's shoulder, I believe I have found two plausible theories. Yes, two, not one, two, that would directly connect Mr. Myagi with Master Kim. And as a bonus, they are not the theory going around on a lot of YouTube channels, which is that they both fought the Sakai together. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying I believe that that's not possible, and I'll elaborate why later. But these theories that I have in this video, no one else has talked about, no one else has said them, there are no videos about them, so that's a bonus for you. Now, if you stay to the end of the video, which of course you will, I will explain why I believe Master Kim has never, ever fought in the Sakai, and why it would completely contradict the script, which of course I'll reference for you at the end, so stick around. Now, as I value your time, and you're simply here for the predictions, let's get to it. So what is the connection between Master Kim and Mr. Myagi? Why is Kim alive even? No offense, but why is he still ticking? And why is there suddenly a dark side to Mr. Miyagi's past? Like, why is this being pushed on us within the space of a couple episodes? Because there's clearly something heating up here. And the real question is, are they connected somehow? Yes, is my answer. Because in Season 6, Episode 3 Sleeper, we discover that Mr. Myagi was actually not the box of kittens that we vividly remember from the Karate Kid movies. In fact, quite the opposite. For in this episode, Daniel, Chosen, and Amanda discover a secret box of naughties that reveals some concerning aspects of Mr. Miyagi's history. And this box contains boxing gloves, a fake passport, fake name, fake birth year, and a newspaper clipping that seems to point directly at Mr. Myagi being some kind of villain. Which would explain the cobwebs, because whenever there's cobwebs on a box, it means that it's about to get serious. So in this episode, Daniel and Chosen, they follow the money, so to speak, and they go to the address listed on Mr. Miyagi's place of residence in his fake passport, which then takes him to a gym. Right? And this is where we learn a few bizarre and concerning truths about the man we very much admire. Discovery number one, Mr. Myagi was a silent partner in a boxing gym. We learn this when Daniel says to the gym owner, I'm still trying to understand, why would Mr. Myagi be a silent partner in a boxing gym? And the man replies, he and my grandfather were bros. I guess they say bros back then, but the way that my pop used to tell it was that this gym wouldn't have been possible without Myagi. Mr. Myagi was a karate guru though, so why on earth would he be a partner in the boxing gym, and why would he have boxing gloves within a box under his floorboard? This is where my two shocking theories begin. Theory number one, Mr. Myagi was Master Kim's sensei. Wait for it, and the creator of the Way of the Fist. Now, I know, hear me out a minute, thank you please, because in Season 6, Episode 3, Sleeper, which is where Daniel and Chosen learn about Miyagi's past, having discovered the box, the boxing gloves, and all that jazz, this shows that Mr. Myagi was in fact not defense, and actually very much offense, because in the sport of boxing, and typically in the sport of robbing people for necklaces, it requires an offensive strategy, not a defensive strategy. So this would then suggest that Mr. Myagi could potentially be the creator of the Way of the Fist, because what more of a fist-fighting method is there than boxing? It is strike first, it is strike hard, it is no mercy, sir. So then, the question that follows is, how on earth would Master Kim come to learn under Mr. Miyagi, let alone claim to be the author of the method, the Way of the Fist? Well, there are a couple plausible options I've realised, but really it's simple. First, Master Kim was a student of the boxing gym that Mr. Miyagi was a silent partner in and likely coach. After all, Master Kim speaks English. He taught American soldiers during the Korean War, so it seems fairly reasonable to assume that he is no stranger to America, that he could have spent time there. It's not out of the question. So stay with me because this is crazy. If you look at the newspaper clipping, it reads, "Police search for assailant," and it's dated May 3rd, 1947. And if you recall, the episode states that Mr. Miyagi fled the United States after this incident, which was confirmed when Chosen said to the gym owner, "Your information is wrong, Miyagi flee Okinawa." To which the gym owner replies, "No, Miyagi flee America. He heard something about a robbery, beat the shit out of some mope, needed my pop-pop to help him get lost, and I heard he stole some pricey necklace." Is it then plausible to think that Mr. Miyagi left the US and fled to, let's say, South Korea, because he didn't go back to Japan? Where would he go? After all, South Korea was a country recently liberated from Japanese rule just 2 years earlier by the US, and Mr. Miyagi was what? A US soldier. During this time, Miyagi could have been training students in South Korea where Master Kim could have been a student under his tutelage. And therefore, the big question would then be, and I know you're asking it, what on earth happened to Miyagi? What made this man shift to all defense, no contest, and all cuddles? Well, the gym owner shared a little bit more to the story, didn't he? When he said, "My pop-pop said he trusted Mr. Miyagi with his life." If he trusted Mr. Miyagi with his life, could he have trusted him as a sensei? And if trusting him as a sensei, taking him, let's say, could he have taken him to the Sakai Takai, winning a headband, and potentially facing a devastating loss, i.e. death by tournament? This would, of course, result in a radical shift in Mr. Miyagi's karate ethos being defense only, no tournaments, no trophies, because if Mr. Miyagi took his bro and trained him as a sensei and took him to the Sakai Takai where the guy died, I think it's fair to say that that would shift his theory, his ethos and karate. Now, I put it to you, perhaps a bloody headband from the event is not Mr. Miyagi's, but it's a stark reminder that Mr. Miyagi had failed his bro, who quote-unquote trusted him with his life. Therefore, could this partner in the boxing gym be a student of the Way of the Fist in its original form? Could it be someone who died at the Sakai Takai? Now, if you feel unsure about this, and fair enough, I know this might be a bit of a stretch, but there's two facts here. Fact number one, Mr. Myagi was apparently heavy into boxing, a fist-first method. Fact two, Mr. Miyagi was better than Silver and Kreese because he beat them so easily. Why? Because perhaps he knew their fighting style better than them as an author of the Strike First method, the Way of the Fist. This would explain how Mr. Myagi was able to seamlessly defeat John Kreese more than once and Terry Silver with such little effort because he's the teacher of the teacher, aka Mr. Myagi, the final boss. Wow. Theory 2. This one is less likely in my opinion than the first, but it's still plausible. When Mr. Miyagi fled South Korea during all that we just discussed about in 1947, he actually became a student, not a sensei, a student of Master Kim. After all, he was an American soldier with the Medal of Honor. And Master Kim, who did Master Kim teach? American soldiers. During when? The Korean War, just a few short years after 1947, 1950s. He may have learned the Way of the Fist from Master Kim himself. After all, in Season 4, we discovered during Daniel's trip back to Okinawa an array of secret scrolls containing karate lessons that Daniel himself didn't know. But someone does. Chosen. Chosen knows the scrolls and he knows Master Kim's karate, which he uses himself against Silver and Silver's men in Season 5. Could that be from the scrolls? Again, this would explain Mr. Miyagi's unmatched karate, beating all of Master Kim's students, including Terry Silver, John Kreese, and even Mike Barnes at Cobra Kai, creating a direct link between both Mr. Miyagi and Master Kim. So these are the two options that I present to you. 1. Mr. Miyagi was the sensei of Master Kim. 2. Mr. Miyagi was the student of Master Kim. I want to know your thoughts based on these two theories and the evidence provided on the show and whatever theories that you have, because these are just my theories. That's it. Now, real quick, one potentially large objection to these theories that I have is if Mr. Miyagi and Master Kim know each other, then why did Mr. Miyagi not react when Terry Silver announced his sensei was Master Kim during his introduction to Karate Kid 3? It's a fair question. Well, I don't have the answer, but perhaps Master Kim had a different name, like Miyagi did during that era, or perhaps there wasn't a closeness to their relationship. I don't know. There's always different options, but I do admit this is a big question that I don't have the answer to, and I would be skeptical of my theories. Now, in closing, I said to you at the start, as mentioned at the start of this video, there is evidence to suggest that Master Kim never fought at the Sakai Takai, or any global contest. Now, how do I know that? This nice lady, known as Kim Dae-eun, the granddaughter of Master Kim, has made several obsessive remarks to indicate this. In Season 5, episode Your Grandfather... in Season 5, in the episode where she gets off the plane, your grandfather didn't teach American soldiers the way of the fist just to be used on the battlefield, is what Silver said. And then he said, we need to share his style with the world, suggesting that the way of the fist has never been seen by the world. And in the finale of Season 5, known as Head of the Snake, Kim says to Silver, you promised to make my grandfather's dream a reality, to bring his karate to the world. You are on the verge of fulfilling that promise. Again, suggesting that his style has never been on a global stage. Well, the Sakai Takai is the largest fighting tournament in karate. So I think with the repetition of announcing this dream, it kind of indicates that there's no way that he would have been at the Sakai Takai. So that's the video. They are the theories. I want to know what you think about them. I want to know your theories as well. Comment below, let me know, like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video because this one has given me a headache and I'm done. Ciao, ciao.